This weekend, the forecast is for rain, wind, and destruction at the box office.
Into the Storm rolls into theaters, and our entertainment reporter, Jim Ferguson, sat down with the cast to get the inside scoop on this epic production.
I leave you with Henry David Thoreau's words. Go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live the life you have imagined. We salute you!
In the span of just a few hours, the city of Silverton is ravaged by one of the most furious twisters they've ever seen. The storm trackers like Alycia, played by Sarah Wayne Callies, and Daryl, played by Arlen Escarpeta, predict the worst is yet to come.
Another thing I really liked about it as a former high school teacher, social studies teacher, the fact that they shot it like a documentary. It was very real.
I think that's an element that both worked for the actors and hopefully worked for the audience. From an actor's perspective, it was such a, like you said, there were so many cameras, cameras set up everywhere that you can, feel free to work and, and be very broad and not big in the stage sense, but big in a way that you didn't have to stay within your box. You can move and know that even if the camera's on you and we're over here, there's something over there picking us up as well, And then for the audience, it just brings you in. It brings you in and brings you in, and that's what you want. You want the audience to feel as uncomfortable as we do when those tornadoes first touch down. You want them to be just as excited when those first little bursts of clouds appear and disappear, and that excitement is there. You want them to feel that, So I think those elements that Steve put in there in that found footage style, just worked for both parties.
Yeah. Comment on the Titus experience?
I didn't get to drive it.
I don't know if anybody's told you about this, but the Titus might have been the greatest diva of the show. So the very first shot of the movie was the Titus, and Matt was in the Titus, and we were shooting the Titus, and they rained on the Titus, and Matt said, "Houston, we have a problem." And it turned out the Titus wasn't waterproof. So they had to stop, dry off the Titus, waterproof the Titus.
Change Matt's clothes.
Change Matt's clothes. Got us back. Okay, we're going to do the first shot of the movie again. Matt gets in, he closes the door, the window shatters. And so Steve kind of went, "Hey, could somebody make sure that my tank has tempered glass and is waterproof?" And we sort of, from there, we got on a little better. But Titus was a challenging co-star.
Well, on the morning of what would become the most terrifying day of their lives, many of the younger citizens of Silverton, like Donnie, Caitlin, and Trey, played by Max Deacon, Alycia, Cary, and Nathan Kress, were anticipating one of their best with their high school graduation.
It's character-driven.
Yeah.
We remember Donnie, we remember Caitlin, we remember Trey. The characters are important to this film.
Absolutely.
I'm glad you said that. It means a lot for us because it is hard to take away from, the spectacle, which is the storm, and it truly is the star of the show.
Yeah.
But I think what was so lovely about this and what attracted us all to the script too is there is that strong human element and the very first person perspective, which is often told through found footage, but quite a mixture of both, does bring you intimately to these characters' lives.
Now, your characters, Trey and Donnie, their dad is assistant principal of the junior high, and it's graduation day. And there's ironically a time capsule.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very convenient.
that Trey's involved in a little bit. Right. But this is a graduation day that, and I'm sure this has happened in reality, they'll never forget the rest of their lives.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that's one of the reasons why, because sometimes people have kind of said that it's hard to justify having the cameras out while all of this stuff is happening. But really, I mean, we've been tasked with doing the time capsule, which captures pivotal moments in our lives and in the lives of the town. I think it's only fitting that while this is happening, we are capturing it because it's something that's obviously going to alter the course of history for our city.
For your city.
You know, so it makes sense that everybody would be rolling on this. You know, it's perfectly normal to want to remember this and memorialize it. And ultimately, I mean, Trey obviously gets a little bit of a different motivation when money becomes involved about halfway through the movie, but I think that there's a perfectly good reason that everybody wants to be taking footage rather than just running for those.
All the warning sirens are down. If a tornado's coming your way, you're not gonna know it.
Hey guys, it's splitting.
There's another one. There's 3, 4. They're everywhere.
I study storms all my life. And this one is bigger than any storm that has ever been.
It's rated PG-13, my grade, a C+. I'm going to see you right here next Tuesday on The Morning Blend.